wanting to venture into an entrepreneurial adventure and not sure what to do or where to start? This channel interviews the movers and shakers in their niche. Watch the shows on this channel to learn more about many business ideas or connect with businesses that offer a solution to your problem. PSI TV helps businesses have a bigger presence by making TV affordable. Beyond ads, biz brands can now have a channel presence with their content. We are the Netflix of biz brands. If you have a passionate message, the solution to a problem, a new book or product launch, and want to impact a new and expansive audience, have your audience say, I saw you on TV. PSI TV is proud to bring you another star, this time in the business reselling niche. Did I get that niche right? Business reselling niche?
Yes, you did. Absolutely.
All right, and my awesome guest today is Marc Golden. He actually lives right here in the Tampa, Florida area, and he's been helping businesses, especially those in the medical practice, prepare for exit in the most profitable way with the greatest advantages. In doing so, he's actually also helping many first-time entrepreneurs get going in the business of their dreams. Marc, welcome.
Thank you so much, Trudy. I appreciate you having me here. I'm so excited to be able to help prospective entrepreneurs or existing entrepreneurs in any way that we can. So I'm really excited to talk to you today.
Sweet. So Marc, tell me, what does a business, well, I know, but just for the audience sake, what does a business broker do?
A business broker is very much like a matchmaker. What we do is we bring buyers and sellers together, and we do it in a way that's profitable and that is stress-free, or low stress anyways. And we also assist both sides in whatever they need to make it happen, like finding the money, getting financed, creatively structuring the deal. And that's what a business broker does. We're really just a connector.
So you're putting together people want to exit their business with people who want to purchase a business.
Absolutely. And so we really help people at every phase of it, whether it's startup, scale up, buy up, or exit out. And we assist them with all of that. And they're all they're intertwined, they're connected. So it's so much fun watching people reach the different levels of success. And it's really exciting helping people exit the business once they've poured their time, their energy, and their money into it. And they've built this beautiful thing, and they get their eyes set for whatever the next thing is. Well, exiting is how they fund that. It's what makes it possible. And it's also what gives somebody else a great start to a business that's already marginally headache-free.
Is this also the space of mergers and acquisitions, like bigger companies kind of wanting to grow even more and accumulating?
Absolutely. Mergers and acquisitions are a very big part of what we do, because most people, if the person next door to you decides to start a business, they put their own unique signature on it. They put their stamp on it, they make it special, and they do things that only they can do. Well, large corporations can't necessarily do that so easy. They're not as nimble, they can't make adjustments, and they can't cater to customers' individual needs. But they recognize that value when they see it. And very often, these large corporations will swoop in and offer a nice premium to a person who started a business, and get this and give them an opportunity to exit in the most profitable and productive way.
Okay, awesome. So, Marc, how did you get your start in this space of business brokering?
Well, you know what? It is great that you asked that. If I were a vehicle, I would be the kind that you have to push start. And I can't just jump in and turn in the key. And it took me a while. I knew immediately when I wanted to do it, but I didn't start until years later. So over 20 years ago, almost 25 years ago, I sold a business that I had started in my home. I started it in a spare bedroom, and all I had was a chair and a telephone. And I built it up to be a pretty successful business in the advertising space. Well, a buyer came along. Well, excuse me, a business broker brought a buyer to me, and that buyer paid a premium for the business. And the thing went very smoothly. And I had been afraid to even look into it because I thought it was going to be really stressful. I thought it was going to take a lot of my time and then end up nowhere. Well, that's not what happened. The business broker showed up. They brought me a buyer quickly. within 4 days of meeting the business broker, there was a buyer in front of me. 9 days later, I had an offer in my hand. And then 34 days later, the deal closed. And I was excited. I remembered all the sleepless nights and worrying and kvetching about paycheck or payroll and bills and hiring and all these things. I remember all that I poured into that business. But when I walked away, the two people that got the biggest checks was myself and the business broker. And I thought, he had no sleepless nights. This guy didn't pour into this business like I did, but he still brought me something valuable that I couldn't find for myself. And so I appreciated that. I thought I would like to help people that way. I knew what it took to be a business owner. I had an understanding of what their plight was and what a business owner goes through. And I thought I could uniquely help them like my business broker. So I decided right then, I want to be a business broker. And then maybe about just under 20 years later, I became a business broker. Life happens, right?
Sounds like the story of David. Shepherd boy told he's going to be a king. It took him about 20 years to actually hit the throne. Nothing wrong with that. Well,
not a thing.
Right. So you mentioned, you just told your story that your business broker helped you sell your business. You actually said too that you were happy to pay this big price.
I'm going to tell you that the best investment a business owner will ever make at the time of exit is the investment they make in helping a competent person bring a buyer and seller together. And that competent party acts as a buffer and absorbs the stress from both sides. So instead of having two people going at it and taking everything personally, the business broker steps in the middle and really absorbs the impact from both sides of the transaction. And it just makes everything go much more smoothly. And mountains don't become molehills. What happens is goals get achieved and targets get reached.
Amazing. Okay. So what are some of the reasons a business owner might actually want to even exit their business, Mark?
Well, here's several reasons. You know, my average seller is, they fall into two categories. They are tired and retiring because, you know, for about the last 12 years, more than 10,000 people every day turn 65 years old. And so a lot of times people just poured their entire life into this business and they want to know what else they can do. They have grandchildren they want to see, they have states they want to visit or countries they want to visit. And this is a great way to fund what they're going to do next. More often than not, entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs. They've got another business in mind that they want to start or purchase or acquire. And so I can help them with that. And so when people want to exit a business, the first thing that I say to all of my clients is, what are you planning on doing next? And if it's a couple, I'll say, well, you know, Bob, you probably have your eyes set on Hawaii. And Sarah, you are probably set on that next big enterprise. And so, and we'll laugh about it. But the reality of it is the thing that they want to do next is really what motivates them to talk to me in the first place. And so my job is to find somebody else who has a thing they want to do next that looks exactly like this business. And so I bring those two together and I help remove obstacles for both sides until we reach the closing table and everybody's happy.
Well, let me ask you this. Should an entrepreneur consider their exit strategy when they're starting their business? Because I know, like an entrepreneur, we just think about what exciting thing we want to do. We don't really necessarily think about the end in mind as the day when we're wanting to retire, but should we as entrepreneurs be thinking about the exit pretty much shortly after we've started? And how would that potential exit, influence how we set up or run the business?
Well, Trudy, you're brilliant because that's a brilliant question. And, you know, everyone from Stephen Covey to Jesus in the Bible, you know, Stephen Covey says, of course, like you'd mentioned, begin with the end in mind. Jesus said, well, which of you would build a house without first counting the cost? So you should start a business and run a business with the exit in mind, even if you believe you're never going to sell it. And some of the ways that you can prepare to actually build a sellable business is you can do a few things. You can make sure that it is growing. You can pay yourself through payroll. Literally hire a payroll company or do it yourself if you prefer through QuickBooks, but put yourself on the payroll because that helps and it makes your business more attractive and more sellable. Be careful not to commingle funds. Keep current books and keep track of your records and your tax returns, because those are the things that prove that your business is as great as you say it is. And the toughest kind of business to sell is the business where the owner says, I've been stuffing money in my mattress for the last 10 years. The IRS doesn't know about it, but I make a lot of money. Can you get me a great price? Well, the answer is you've already gotten your great price. You got your great price through tax avoidance. And so what I try to help people do is make sure that they report their income and have a story of their track record of success that is verifiable and on paper. Tax returns are the best way to do that. The next way to do that is to keep a solid profit and loss statement and a solid balance sheet. A profit and loss statement says what I'm paying and what I'm earning. That's what it's a snapshot of that during any given period of time. A balance sheet is very simple. It's what do I owe and what do I own? And that is really what those two things are. If you can have those things or get access to those things, start doing it immediately. Because if you wake up one day and decide that you need to sell your business sooner rather than later, you don't have to go through the headache of trying to go back and piece that story together on paper, which is nearly impossible, but it is doable.
And actually, I do want to stress this, guys, because listen, entrepreneurs, a lot of people think that the best deal about going into business is all the tax write-offs, which is great, or stuffing the cash under the mattress. And, you know, as Marc just said, you've already gotten your payoff. But if you are running your business as a person of integrity, running your business with biblical practices and policies, and just that whole concept of being a person of integrity and being a good steward, then you will do the right thing. And when you do the right thing, which is paying your taxes, renting unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and, you know, keeping a good record, because the Bible has many stories of that accountability that comes in when we are stewards of things that we ultimately, everything we have is from God. So at the end of the day, guys, do the right thing at the right time, in the right way. And then if the time comes and an opportunity presents itself to sell your business, there you go. You are package ready. And we already have somebody that you can contact for that, but we'll get to that in another second. So, Marc, what would you say to that person watching the show says, shoot, that's a good idea, I want to be a business broker? What would you say to someone interested in pursuing this adventure of becoming a business broker?
I would tell them, stop, don't even count to 3, take a deep breath and jump right into the pool. Now, I am fortunate enough that I help people who want to become business brokers become business brokers. There's always somebody out there that's ready to sell you a franchise. I am not knocking that. But if you want to become a business broker and you don't have the $275,000 to invest with a franchise organization, or the $175,000 to invest with the other, and those are the 2 largest franchise organizations out there, you can actually take what you already have, which is your ability to relate to people and to connect with people. And then you can learn the basics and the steps of business brokerage through someone like me. I have written a book on how to become a business broker. It's called How to Get Rich Through Other People's Profits. Now, I came up with that name because I remember thinking that business broker just profited from my profits when I sold my business. But he brought value, and he certainly earned it, every bit of it. And if somebody out there wants to be a business broker, there are certain things they can do. They can visit my website in ownership and the letter U.com. As far as becoming a business broker, we'll show you how to do that if that is something that's interesting to you, because it is a fun business. You get to touch every kind of business and industry, and you learn something every day that's different than what you knew the day before, and you get to help a lot of people. And the good news is that it pays well, and most of us like getting paid well. So yes, if somebody wants to be a business broker, they should certainly reach out to me through the variety of ways that I'm more than happy to share. In addition to that, I do have an event, a recurring event that I'll be doing soon with Marc Golden and myself, and it's called Startup, Scale Up, Buy Up. And in this event, you will have an opportunity to work with me and learn to become a business broker if that is something that you're interested in.
And is that a recurring event? Happens a couple times?
Yes, ma'am. That is a recurring event that you will be able to take advantage of multiple times throughout the year. You can find out more about it at www.ownershipu, and that's ownership and the letter U.com, where you'll learn everything you need to know about starting a business, scaling a business, purchasing a business, and exiting a business. But you'll also have an opportunity to work with me one-on-one if you decide you want to become a first-rate business broker.
And your book also speaks to how to become a business broker, or is it just helping the business owner exit? What's the goal focus?
My book is about my experiences as a business broker. And so if you're selling a business, there's plenty in there for you to learn and value for you to get. But the ideal target of this book is a person who is considering becoming a business broker. That's a person who's worked in sales, maybe, or wants to be an entrepreneur, or maybe realtors. Many realtors I've helped convert to become business owners, business brokers. And so that's who the book is for. If you want to get the book directly, you can go to marcvgolden.com. And Marc is spelled with a C, M-A-R-C. Marc, V as in Vincent, golden.com. And you can get a copy of the book. And what I will do is I will send you a signed copy of this book, and it'll tell you how to get started if that's something that's interesting to you.
So Marc, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Well, sure. Those two sites are sites that are specifically for helping people who are trying to get into business. If you have a business and you want to exit, my day-to-day corporate site, you can find anything that you need. And you can also see my listings that I have available for sale, some of them. And that is mergerus.com. And I encourage you, if you have a business and you're thinking about selling it, you just want to get some questions answered, we should talk, because it doesn't cost you anything to have that consult, and it could cost you everything to not have that consult.
I agree. And guys, I actually am going to encourage that, because I had an opportunity to exit my business and I had all the wrong mindset and all the wrong ideas at the time. And that's why, because I did not speak to a qualified business broker, and I lost a great opportunity. Don't let that happen to you. And I certainly won't let that happen to me in the future when I'm ready to exit this business that I'm now doing. All right, guys. And Marc, thank you so much for being my amazing guest today. And
thank you.
Guys, that's the end. Thanks for joining us on PSI TV.
Thank you, Trudy.